Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we head road course racing for the final time in the regular season. Just 2 races remain in the regular season. Watkins Glen today, Daytona in the next episode. Now coming off of Kyle Larson's first win of the season finally in the Brickyard 400, the return of the Crown Jewel event saw Larson getting that first win on the year. Maybe he is going to be heating up at the right time. We jump straight through into the action here. This is in qualifying as well, as I'm going to show the whole lap here. Have the bracket challenge continuing today, where just 2 matchups remain. Kyle Larson versus Ross Chastain, and Joey Logano going up against Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman, who's in a must-win scenario to make the playoffs, is in a position where he could win the $3 million next episode in Daytona if he beats Joey Logano today. And we all know, of course, anybody can, do anything in Daytona or Talladega. So there's a real chance that Alex Bowman could win the bracket challenge, which would be, I guess, one of the only highlights so far to his season. As we continue on, a goal of a 1:10.367 here from Watkins Glen. Currently heading up towards the 50-second mark as we head down towards the penultimate corner. Watkins Glen, of course, a lot of history with this circuit within NASCAR and the Cup Series, of course, spanning back decades now as we come through this final turn. Get it on the apex through from second up through into third gear, up towards fourth to the line. What is it going to be? Smashing the goal time with a 1:07.969. That will put us row 2, P3. We will absolutely take that in the Go Bowling at the Glen. Now on pole position, William Byron front row. Joining him, Martin Truex Jr., Chastain, Suarez, the Trackhouse duo just behind myself. Scott Dixon in the field for Project 91 this weekend. Scott McLaughlin in the 12 in place of the injured Ryan Blaney, as you can see the rest of the qualifying effort. Now when we take a look here at the Truck Series, the first playoff race, William Sawalich picked up the win in Iowa. We'll take a look at the playoff grid later on here, but yeah, that wraps it up for the Truck Series action. Let's get racing on Sunday.
Our final road race of the regular season is set to kick off here today from Watkins Glen. Just 2 races remain before the playoffs. Could we see some fuel strategy today for a shock winner?
We'll only see it if Stage 2 gets cut short, Rick. They will all have enough fuel in Stage 3 to make it without a weirdly timed yellow.
Things are set to get physical, that's for sure. Drivers can't rely on strategy. They have to get after it today.
And we also have the bracket challenge. 2 rounds remain in the fight for $3 million.
We have 6-time IndyCar champion Scott Dixon in the field here today in the number 91. You see it right there. Project 91 brought Dixon in for Watkins Glen now as SVG's more focused in on playoff time in trucks and Xfinity now, so we won't see him for the rest of the season, but it is sounding like an announcement on him and full-time is pretty well imminent within the next couple of episodes. There's going to be quite a few silly season announcements coming in the next few episodes, so stay tuned on that. But basically, we're going to have a lot of knowledge on what next season looks like. We know where we're going. Kyle Busch's future has been talked about quite a bit. Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman, etc. Those are kind of some big ones that need to get determined here. Now as a green flag is out, and we're racing from Watkins Glen in the WeatherTech Chevrolet Camaro, following the pole winner of William Byron down towards turn number 1. McDowell, Suarez in the background, 3 wide. There, as you can see, Briscoe really sent it up the inside. It's going to work for him. We clear Chastain and Truex and Byron in front of us. Well, it's going to be Martin Truex Jr. who's going to have the edge. Truex gets the lead. We're going to look to the right side of William Byron on the exit of the S's. We'll breeze past the Exalta Chevrolet. Into second place we go. So from P3 to P2 in a matter of about 30 seconds here of racing. Now as we dive down towards the bus stop chicane, you can see we really close up right there, about a car length or 2 on Truex, nearly right to his back bumper now within a couple of feet as we roll down into the long sweeping right hand carousel. Now of course it goes on that little downhill elevation change as we go a little bit wide. Of course, no track limits in NASCAR road courses. We're free to do whatever we want, but we end lap 1 of 4 in stage 1 in the second position, so pretty happy with that here. Now as we get through that first corner, turn 1 is definitely the weak spot for me when it comes to Watkins Glen compared to the AI. At least they're always just able to brake way deeper than I am capable of doing here. So if we ever have to go, side by side with someone into turn one, outside of a restart anyways, where the speeds are totally different, it's very hard to hang on and be ahead of them or even be even with them into the corner now. But 2 laps to go at this point in the stage, and the, front runners have kind of remained the same. We all felt pretty similar on pace here. Now, we weren't really driving away from each other. Truex is right there, but we had run him down in these closing moments of lap number 3, approaching the final lap of stage number 1, and you can see him a little bit wide on the apex. However, it gets a nice sharp exit to the corner that allows him to take off a little bit more, and we would chase him up through the S's on this final lap of stage number 1, and down this short back straightaway towards that bus stop chicane. With the slipstream helping us, we get pretty close to Truex here, right to the back of him within a car length now. As we exit the bus stop, we'll swing to the outside, nearly into the back of the Bass Pro Shops machine, but we get there and we might pull this off. We're gonna go around the outside of Martin Truex Jr. in the carousel. That's a power move and a half to the lead on the final lap here in stage number 1 of Watkins Glen, and we're trying to steal a playoff point here from the car, of course, that we're gonna be driving next season. Wide in the penultimate turn, Truex lunges halfway up my door on the left side, but we stay clear on the exit of the final turn. We're gonna head down this front straightaway. We're gonna steal stage 1 right at the end now. Very, very good stuff there to get that playoff point. Now, that's a big thing that we've been needing to work on, is getting stage points, or playoff points specifically. Of course, we can't have a chance at winning the regular season championship. Kyle Larson's basically got it wrapped up and has the chance to do so right here today, depending on where he finishes, which was outside of the top 10 in stage number 1. McLaughlin in the 12 P9 supercar presence for the supercars drivers. It's only him in the field today. Scott Dixon there in P13. Now, everybody going to stay out here for stage 2. No pit stops necessary as we get ready to get racing here from this second and middle stage of this race. Now, unfortunately, when you're P1, you're at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to restarts in Watkins Glen. They start you on the left side of the circuit, so you really need to hit the perfect corner to stay ahead. But the green flag is back out here. Martin Truex Jr. up my inside as we make this deep lunge down into turn number 1. Byron as well as Chastain side by side. I completely botched the corner. That allowed Truex to get clear already. Not too concerned. We just saw what we were capable of doing. We ran him down. We passed him around the outside. If you can pass someone around the outside in the carousel at Watkins Glen, I mean, you got quite a good car compared to at least that car that you passed now. So I wasn't too concerned, and I felt like it was more or less as the tires were wearing when this car was just a little bit better than Truex's. You can see him struggling a little bit there on the entrance to the bus stop. Once again, 4 laps here in stage 2. We're going to go for the same move, a power move potentially again around the outside of Martin Truex Jr. Is it going to be successful? I think it is on the exit of the corner. Yes, it is. We power around the outside into the lead again now as we continue to have these little scraps, and predominantly at road courses is when we have had our little meetings with Martin Truex Jr. and we've been able to come out on top. Of course, last time in Sonoma, that was our last victory. It's been a 2-win season. Chastain would take second, however, from Martin Truex Jr., and he would kind of stalk me over the course of the next lap or so through the bus stop chicane. You can see just in that rear view mirror, Chastain not too far back, but not quite close enough yet to put some pressure on. So we just need to hang on, throughout these final 2 laps of this stage here. Now down the back straightaway, and again, the gap about the same to Chastain, so I'm not really pulling away from him, but he's not really closing in too much. Now he's kind of finding a little bit of time here and there, it felt like, but yeah, it wasn't to a point where we were approaching this final lap, and I wasn't concerned coming up to this final lap here, to say the least. Now, as actually, I'm really not concerned. The caution has flown, and we're going to end stage 2 a lap early, which will add a little bit extra onto the final stage, but we're going to get another playoff point, 10 stage points as well, helping us in the regular season championship battle. 2 stages already done. We're only like 9 minutes in. It's going to be one of those short videos here today now, but we're all coming into the pits for 4 tires, fill it up on fuel as well, and get ready to roll here from Watkins Glen for stage number 3. It's been a pretty calm race so far, kind of reminding me of Sonoma. McLaughlin gains 1 spot in the pits. He's up to P10 as stage 3 is set to get underway. Once again, we are at the exact same disadvantage as we were on the restart of stage number 2. We're back underway on the run down towards turn number 1. Truex fills up my rear view mirror. Chastain up the right side as we exit turn number 1 side by side as we go over top of the curbing. And actually, as we try to turn back onto the track, the curbing catches the car, so that shoves me wide, and that allows Chastain to easily get clear. We stay in second place at least, so it's not, the worst thing in the world. Now is we're going to have to chase him up through the rest of the S's, down the straightaway, and towards that bus stop chicane. Now, with the caution coming out a lap early for the ending of stage number 2, it adds a little bit of extra time onto the stage 3 count, and that has also meant that it's put us in a really awkward fuel situation. So we currently have 11 laps of fuel. We're coming to 11 laps to go. So basically, long story short, we are right on the money right now. We are very close on fuel, so if it stays green, it would make things very awkward for fuel strategy. We could try to make it, we might not make it. Some drivers might stay out, some drivers might try to stretch it here, so this could turn into a fuel strategy race. However, Chastain driving away, and I was struggling to stick with him, but I was trying my best. That was the only thing I could do here. So Chastain, I think, clearly the fastest car at the end of the day here. Now, of course, we won the first 2 stages, but Chastain was looking pretty good once he got into second place behind myself there in stage 2. So he's definitely showing up here now, and you can see he's able to open up that gap a little bit now. But we would have some problems now. Look on the track map, you can see a dot in the pit lane. AJ Allmendinger, our colleague racing teammate, had run into some issues and had to come into the pit lane to, well, get those issues sorted out. So he would actually spend a little bit of time there in the pits, but it sounds like he's going to be able to get back out on track before long. But you can see Chastain, he's driving away. I got nothing for the guy. Looking for win number 4 on the season is Chastain, but look up ahead on the track map. You can see that's Allmendinger. His dot just a little bit further ahead out of the carousel right now, and you can see him as we roll back onto the straightaway. There he is. So he's rejoined the track as we are continuing to try and chase down Chastain. Now the gap had kind of evened out at this point on lap 16. Still very, very close on fuel. Not sure what the AI are going to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if they all pit. And we might try to stretch this and see if we can steal the win that way, because it's going to be hard on pace unless the 13 of Allmendinger maybe has some other ideas in hand as we continue to try and chase down this number 1.
AJ is going to help you here. We still have a shot.
No. Tell him to get out of the way. We don't need any of that here. I want this to play out naturally. You hear me on the radio. Our crew chief says Allmendinger is going to help us, and when I hear that, I'm thinking he's going to back it up. And basically try to hold up the one of Ross Chastain in these closing laps, because it's pretty evident we're not going to run him down. That one car is absolutely flying here in Watkins Glen. Win number 4 is on the cards now as we're looking for win number 3 here in Watkins Glen, but you can see the gap continuing to get closer to our teammate of Allmendinger now as Chastain is reeling him in. We don't really have any pressure currently from behind. Byron's not far back, running in 3rd. Truex down in 4th right now, but it's been overall a pretty relaxed, calm road race there, which you don't usually see at a Watkins Glen or really anywhere these days. Now it's nice to kind of have a change of scenery and let things just, be natural and calm. But Chastain had run down the 13 of Allmendinger now by the halfway point of lap 19, coming to just 5 laps to go, and you can already see that we're going to be able to run down this one. I said tell him, get out of the way, let this play out.
We're working as a team here. We need playoff points.
Yeah, and I want to win the proper way, not in this stupid that he's trying to pull here. And you hear the radio chatter, but Allmendinger not moving here as we go through the final turn, and Chastain's all over the back, but he can't find a way around. And now as we come through halfway to lap 20, down that backstretch towards the chicane again, you can see Chastain stuck behind this 13 of Allmendinger. We're just about to the back of him. We are to the back of him now, right to the back of Chastain within a car length now. As we come through the carousel, Allmendinger has refused to move. He's, doing it with a good heart, trying to help his teammate. I am totally against it and not very thrilled right now with what's happening. Out of the final turn, Chastain tries to look to the inside, can't quite get there. Actually, I'm trying to help the guy. I'm saying, hey, let's go. I give him a shove down towards turn number 1. He's not taking it, so I'm going to look up the inside, but Chastain sails it off into the corner up the inside of Allmendinger. Now they're side by side on the exit of turn 1 on the run up through the S's, and Allmendinger is going to be an absolute pain in his side now as they continue wheel to wheel, both exceptional road course racers. Now where do we go if we want to get to the lead of this race here? Now I'm tired of AJ Allmendinger. This is in my opinion just extremely unsportsmanlike. We're going to send him. I'm going to send him into the bus stop, send him crashing through the chicane. Allmendinger into the barriers. We take the lead here in Watkins Glen. I warned him. I warned you guys. I'm not going to stand for that garbage. I don't care if he's a teammate or not. Get him out of here.
Gary, what the f*** was that?
Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear from you guys for the rest of the race. We continue. Now, I mean, we're in position to win. That's great, but I don't think things are going to go over well post-race here. As we continue on, Chastain, I mean, continues to try and put some pressure on into the final turn. We're coming to 3 to go. We still don't know who can and who cannot make it or trying to stretch it on field now as I go a little bit deep into turn 1, miss the apex, decide, okay, well, I'm going wide, so I might as well really push it wide, but that actually opens the door for Chastain back up the inside into the S's with 3 to go, but we stay ahead. Although, you know, I'm not a fan of how we got the lead. I'm not just going to give up the lead to Chastain. I'm unfortunately, you know, we're a victim of our teammate being our teammate, but we still got to go and try to win the race. Now, coming to 2 to go, Byron is going to come into the pits. He's not even going to try and stretch it, but you can see the field light is already on. So it's going to be extremely close on field. If the stage 2 ended at the originally scheduled time, this would have never been an issue. It's all because of when the caution came out there a lap early. That one lap has completely changed the game here now. As we go through the sweeping carousel, and we've actually opened the door a little bit to Chastain, or open up the gap, I should say. And actually, as we approach the final lap, let's pay attention in our rearview mirror. They're all going to pit. Chastain's in, Truex is in. I'm going to risk it now. I mean, we've got 2 wins in our season. We might as well go for it. We've got the stage wins today, 2 playoff points, which is great. Let's go for an extra 5 playoff points here as the final lap is underway. As you can see, Corey LaJoie, I think that is just behind us, coming out on to the racetrack right now. Everybody, except for myself, is in the pits. Watch the field in the top left. There it goes. 0 laps of field. How long is this car going to be able to run now? As you can usually, when it hits 0 laps, get a little bit of extra out of it before it actually runs out of gas. So let's just wait and see. Now, if we can get out of the carousel, we should be able to win this race, even if we run out of fuel at this point now. So I'm feeling very, very confident, just letting this thing coast. Now we're going to pick it back up on the exit of the carousel. Still fuel in the car as we head down towards the penultimate turn. There it is there. The car starts to stutter and run out here, but I think we're going to be fine as we go through the penultimate corner. Chastain just now heading into the bus stop chicane. We've got plenty of a gap ahead of that number 1. We're going to roll through the final turn, and I think we're going to be successful. We risk it, but we're going to reap the benefits out of it now. As you can see, coming to the line, LaJoie to the outside. I don't think he wanted to pass me, but win number 3 in the slowest fashion possible, 50 mile an hour across the line, and we get win number 3 of our Cup Series career and our Cup Series season. And suddenly there was enough fuel in the car to do a burnout. Great day, guys. Great day for our team. Proud of the efforts, but yeah, I mean, AJ should be ashamed of that garbage. No response from our team, which I did tell him to not talk to me, so maybe that makes sense. It's going to be interesting. Pay attention to the very end of the episode. When I say very end, I'm saying pay attention to when we're lifting off the ground in the plane. As you see the finishing order there, McLaughlin with the top 15. Scott Dixon as well did solid inside the top 20. As you can see the rest of the order there, Allmendinger and our other teammate of Hamrick 39th and 40th here. Now, as Vargas, that's the thing. Hopefully he'll jump outside of the top 30. He's only 7 points ahead going into that top 30 situation in Daytona. So I think he will get eliminated, which would put Reddick as the actual last car in the playoffs, which means he's 50 points ahead of McDowell for the final playoff spot, basically going into Daytona. The bracket challenge. Well, Alex Bowman beat Logano, so he'll be going ahead of Chastain, who beat Kyle Larson here today in Watkins Glen. So it's a Chastain-Bowman face-off for the $3 million in the Daytona regular season finale. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.
I'm going to beat that out of you.